right now. Good day, ladies and gentlewomen. So this is going to be something a little bit interesting. I've never done one of these before, and this will arguably be the longest video I've ever done. It's a Smash Brothers discussion, seeing as how the Switch's version just got announced on not even E3, Nintendo's Direct. I'm here with the king of sluts from Pokemon, the biggest slut of them all, Azure, also known as Juanito, and your host, the slut of Smash Brothers, who uses King DDD in Brawl. And this will be the first installment of the Slutcast. The
Fuck yeah, let's do this shit, sluts!
So, yeah, Smash Brothers just got announced on the Switch, so that's interesting. Let's explain our history with Smash Brothers. I'm gonna start with you.
Oh, so should I go first with my history of Smash Bros?
Yeah, like...
Okay, so I first got to Smash Bros when I had these neighbors back in my first house. I was like, I think 12? No, I was in 4th grade, so I was like 9 or 10. We played Smash Bros. Melee, and I absolutely loved playing the game. Like, I think I would go to the house like every week, at least like every day for a while, just to play Smash Bros. With them. And then when I found out Brawl was coming out, I saw a trailer as a kid for it just like randomly appear on my TV screen, and I was like, holy shit, this game is awesome, I can't wait to buy it. And then I found out that Marcos was into it as well, and it just kind of like spun off there, and I fell in love with Brawl. I began speculating for Smash 4 around middle school. I was like around 12-ish, I think. Yeah, I was around like 12 when I started speculating for Smash Bros. 4. And I got the majority of my roster right. The majority of my speculation roster was correct. Just saying.
That's true.
I love Smash Bros. 4, and I dabbled a bit in competitive. Marcos keeps kicking my ass, but it's okay. I kick his ass in Showdown, so we're pretty even there.
Yeah, we're sluts to each other in completely different games.
Yeah, and now I'm doing speculation again for Smash Bros. 5, and I'm more than happy to do it on podcast with my best friend.
Sweet. The Slutcast. So as for me, Smash Brothers has been like one of my biggest childhood since I almost said 99. I almost said 98, but no, I was a toddler.
You're a toddler. I was born.
So I played since 64 and Melee, like as one of my two primary childhoods. I remember since I didn't really own... I had a Nintendo 64, but it was only in my beach house, so that would be the only time I played Smash 64. Would be during the summer. And I remember that's like between the two, I'd say 64 is the most nostalgia to me. Melee was probably the one I fell in love with Melee ever since I was a kid. And I remember Brawl was the reason why I got a Wii in the first place, and I would have done a repeat on Wii U if the Wii U didn't do so poorly, but that's a story for another story. That's a story for another video. But then Melee changed everything. It started off as a game that I would play just alright, like casually with my friends. I remember the good old days. I'd only pick Falco. Only Falco, just spamming Firebird. Of being everybody. And my friend, I remember I have a friend, his name is Sebastian, he would be like, dude, pick someone else, don't pick Falco. I'm like, okay, picks Fox.
Basically how Francisco is now. Falcon.
Well, actually, Frank always sandbags me now with, like, Donkey Kong or stuff like that.
Really? But, I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, then, yeah, so that's, I guess, that's why I decided to use Fox and Falco a lot in the other games. Then when Brawl came out, oh boy, that I really wanted to play Brawl so much. Pokemon Trainer, Sonic, for some reason, Brawl, I really enjoyed Brawl.
Yeah, Brawl had the best roster, in my opinion.
Yeah, I do agree on that too. Next to that would be 64 because Melee had a bunch of clones and Smash, we don't speak of Smash.
Where it's like they just threw out All-Stars. They threw Nintendo All-Stars out the window.
It's like Smash Brothers. Oh, well, fuck that. This is marketing the video game.
Legit.
It's like Street Fighter 5 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake that isn't gonna come out till next gen.
The biggest one was like that fire and Corrin.
Oh god, fuck Corrin. But Smash Brothers has been a big part of my life, especially with Melee. More specifically with Melee. Smash 4 was an interesting trip because the early days of competitive and the 3DS days, mind you, my dual mains were completely different to my mains now, unlike the other games, which are only subtly different. Lucario and Greninja were my two mains in Smash 4. Then, the controversy with Lucario, and then all the nerfs that Greninja mained. I was, like, all over the cast. I was like, who the fuck do I want to main? I remember for a while I wanted to main Marth, but Frank made me, like, rethink my life. Then Fox came around, and yeah, it's just an interesting story. Like, I have multiple stories that I can tell about Smash Brothers. But right now we're talking about this. But one thing I can say is that in the mix of middle school, like we said, we would be speculating for each new character. Like, we'd go to the website every day just to check to see who gets confirmed. I remember the long gap of time between when Sonic got confirmed. Frank and I would never stop looking at the roster until another character gets confused.
The website didn't become a thing until, like, I think freshman year of high school, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so we started speculating before the website.
Yeah, more or less. But once the game got announced, once the game got announced is when we literally started speculating a lot.
Yeah, that's when we did the hardcore speculation.
But yeah, so now we're obviously we're gonna mainly talk about are just the characters that we think are gonna show up. But we're obviously gonna go through like looking at the cast from Smash 4, who is gonna return, who are the characters that may or may not return, like the ones that are. I have returning characters, maybe characters that will hands down easily be removed with no questions asked, because fuck them. And then our thoughts of which new characters that they should add. So, do you want to start with the new characters?
With new characters that we should add? Sure, yeah. I was like looking up the like most requested characters that are.
I'm going to share my screen with you. Actually, maybe I should have done this before I started recording.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Share screen, start. So that means you can look at my screen to see what I have.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a Word document perfect. So you told me that you were gonna have one.
So you're seeing my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so let's get this one obvious thing out of the way.
Anchoring.
Oh no, I put.
Yes! Preach! Preach!
If you don't add Ridley into this game, I'm gonna be pissed. Okay, I'm sick and tired of only having Samus, and I'm sick and tired of only having armored Samus and naked Samus as the only two Metroid Prime 4 is coming out. Come the fuck on.
I feel like Ridley fans have become the new Geno fans. In that. Like, you know that Geno before Smash 4 came out? Like, everyone and their fucking grandma wanted Geno in the game. Like, that became a serious meme. That's why Sakurai had the Geno costume in 4.
I would way prefer having Ridley in this game,
Ridley
please.
and K. Rool are being that. That's another one.
King K. Rool, yeah. But, like, yeah.
It's like, some people think that he'd be a Bowser clone, and it's like, no,
People say that shit for Cloud being an Ike clone and stuff. I don't think we're worried about clones anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he would definitely not be a clone. He'd be pretty different. The only thing that they have in common is that they're reptilian and heavyweights. That's about it.
So since the release date has already been announced, coming up this year, late this year, or possibly early next year, depending on how the pacing of the game goes. How many characters have we gotten in 4 and Brawl? Like, in terms of new characters.
And 4, let's see, not counting DLC, we have Rosalina, Bowser Jr., Greninja, Robin, Lucina, Palutena, I almost said Corrin, Dark Pit, Villager, Little Mac, Wii Fit Trainer, Shulk, Duck Hunt, Mega Man, Pac-Man, and the Miis, and I'm counting them as like one character.
Okay, that's quite a lot. So
yeah, that's 15. That's like around 15.
I don't know.
It's 16.
Well, we didn't count Cloud and Bayonetta, by the way.
But I said not including DLC.
Okay, so
but if we're including DLC, that's let's see, that is Ryu, Cloud, and Bayonetta. So that's 3 more.
And Corrin.
So that is
Corrin.
No, I said Ryu, Cloud, Bayonetta.
Yeah, I know, but Corrin also is a newcomer.
Oh yeah, Corrin, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about Corrin, because I don't care for Corrin. So yeah, that's like 19 characters, holy shit.
Okay,
I
so
think that's any other game. Let's see Brawl. Brawl, if I'm not mistaken, had like about 15.
okay, so they're adding more new characters as the series kind of progress.
Yeah, they always add around like 15 or so, I think.
Melee has like 27 characters, and yeah. The original had 12. The original had 12, of course.
I think. Brawl has 36. 38, I think, if you're counting transformable characters, so like Pokemon Trainer.
I think 38 would probably be. No, if you're gonna count Pokemon Trainer, then it's more than that. It would probably be reaching about like 39. 38 would be like if you count it. No, it's 37 if you're gonna count Zelda and Sheik as separate, but 38 is if you count them together. That's what the tier list does.
Okay.
It's weird.
Okay. So yeah, it has like about 15 characters or so. Not including transformation-based characters. And I don't think we're going to be including transformation-based characters in this one since 4 kind of did away with that.
Yeah. Oh, thank God, honestly.
Rip Squirtle, and Ivysaur.
So, that leaves us... Okay, since we're looking at new characters, any Pokemon I think the ones I'm really looking at right now are the Pokemon characters. Are they any new, like, Generation 7 Pokemons that seem to be, like, at the same popularity as Greninja and Lucario?
A lot of people really want to add Decidueye. That's, like, the one thing I'm seeing a lot with... I looked up last week. I was actually... Funny enough, last week, because I didn't know Smash Bros. Was going to come out. At least Smash was going to be announced this week. But last week I was doing some research on like what characters do people want in Smash Bros. And a lot the one that came out a lot were Sceptile and Decidueye. Personally, I think Decidueye is more likely to make it because Generation 3 is kind of done with.
Yeah, I personally would like to have Sceptile in, but honestly, it's like...
I think it'd be a cool character, but it's just, I don't see any reason to add him.
Yeah, I don't see a purpose. Like, I see more of a reason to keep Lucario and Greninja now than having Sceptile.
Because Lucario...
Even then, Sceptile's not even the most popular Generation 3 Pokemon. He's one of, but he's not, like, the... So,
I was gonna say, and Lucario's, like, has become so iconic already. Like, and Greninja, like, had this huge thing with the anime, so...
Oh, Greninja, like, it's not even just the anime, like, mostly the anime, but Greninja hit a popularity that's, like, beyond most Pokemon, like,
That's true, like, it's somewhere, like, up there with, like, I wouldn't say Pikachu, but, like, with like, Lucario and maybe Mewtwo a bit.
Yeah, he was I got that he was added in the game because Sakurai already planned for him to be in the game. They basically already created a Gen 6 mascot, but now to say they have to have Greninja removed, it's like kind of criminal when you really think about it, because it's like they did so much of the character even before he was even planned to be a thing. And then he's a thing. For fuck's sake, there's a form called Ash Greninja.
And even from, like, I'm a character designer, and from a character design standpoint, I absolutely love Greninja's design, so it's fucking lit.
Which is funny coming from Froakie, who's, like, at first we made fun of.
No one liked Froakie at first.
And then we all loved Froakie in the end.
Exactly. Like,
so I'm just gonna mark Decidueye. I don't know how to spell Decidueye, so I'm hoping I spelled it right, but whatever. I'm just gonna put Decidueye in there.
I don't know. I'll check later.
So we got Ridley, Kincaid, and Decidueye. Who are like...
We're not counting, like... If we're gonna put returning characters that, like, left the series, like, in Brawl or in Melee, should we add them to, like, the newcomers or the returning character section?
I have them in the... I mean, that's why I have maybes, because I feel like these are characters that may or may not come back.
Yeah.
I think I already have one in mind.
I feel like the only one that is, like... Let me see.
Actually, I would like to have Greninja back, but like it's in the
I feel like Greninja's definitely a maybe.
Yeah, I also have Roy there because Roy's a really popular character, but
that's really it.
Yeah, like I get he was planned in Brawl. Like he would have definitely been in like sort of the same category with Sheik in a way, But despite the fact that Sheik actually made it in Brawl, has a much better game, Ocarina of Time, Roy's game didn't really do so well, but people love this character to death. So much so that people debate whether Roy is even actually a bottom tier character. When you have a character that's like whose main purpose is to be like, no, he's not bottom tier, he's actually a mid tier.
Even then, like the only reason why Roy was put in Melee was really for marketing for Fire Emblem.
And Marth did it way better.
Marth did it way better, yes.
Like, Marth was a way more prominent character.
Roy is literally the exception to the rule, which, by the way, we should set up, like, ground rules for this, and we'll set them up, like, after I say this, but Roy literally came, he was introduced in Melee. He was not introduced in a Fire Emblem game.
Right.
So, that's when we set up the rules for, like characters and stuff, like...
Yeah, it can't be Goku.
Can't be Goku, yes. Okay, so they have to have originated from a video game.
A Nintendo.
And they have to have a history with Nintendo. Like, those are my rules. What do you think we should have?
I mean, they have to make sense. That's pretty much...
They have to make sense as well. It can't be like...
you know...
I want fucking Mallow.
I want Sora. Then... Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out next year. We gotta promote that. We gotta get that Square Enix money.
Yes, even though like Kingdom Hearts 3 is not gonna be on the Switch, but fuck it, yeah.
Yeah, did we give a shit with Street Fighter 5? No, we didn't. Okay, I want to also address like the characters that will definitely be removed from the roster, but I want to like start with like let's get to the characters. Let's get with the new characters first. Let's start with the new characters.
Okay, so we have Ridley, King K. Rool, and Decidueye.
Yeah.
So I think those are pretty good. Decidueye's probably the most iffy. Because, like, we're almost done with 7th gen, but whatever. Let's see. What other people? Some people, like, this is what I have so far. These are, like, so far, like, pretty much at the top of Smash boards. So, Banjo-Kazooie at 10. Dixie Kong at 9. Bandana at 8.
Okay, well, let me explain like my slight concern with Banjo and Kazooie. I get that Rare's I get that maybe this will happen, probably, but Rare is owned by Microsoft right now, and Microsoft is probably them greedy bastards.
Yeah.
So I seriously doubt they're gonna allow Nintendo to use Banjo and Kazooie. They own that shit. So Rare is owned by them. I get that Rare has good history with them. But for that, I'd add Dixie Kong instead. But
well, Rare also owns Bomberman, right? And there was a Bomberman game for the Wii U, I think. Or was it the Switch? I don't know.
No, Bomberman was on the Switch. But do they own Bomberman?
I think so. Let me look it up. Like, Rare isn't even that popular of a company. Like, think of all the good party companies. They were back in the Nintendo 64 days. In Smash Bros. Like Sega, Konami, Namco, Capcom, like these are all very well established and have very successful games. And it's just that Rare doesn't really carry the same weight as those companies.
Right.
So it'd be weird, like you have like, and not only that, like most third-party characters, with the exceptions of like Bayonetta, are all like icons in their own genre. Like, Sonic is an icon in the speed-based, like, platforming genre. That's even a thing. Pac-Man is an icon for arcade games. Mega Man is a really, like, he's very iconic when it comes to, like, shooter-based platforms, or platformers. Cloud, iconic to RPGs. And Ryu, even Ryu, who I didn't really like his presence in Smash Bros, but still, like, Ryu is an icon in fighting games in general, so.
Right. So.
Yeah, and then you have Bayonetta, who's, like, she's very popular, but still, like,
Banjo and Kazooie, I can understand why people would want him in the game, but, like, I don't think Microsoft is willing to hand over their product unless, well, I mean, I don't know about Bomberman. Like, have you looked at. I don't know. The point is, I just don't see Banjo and Kazooie making it into the game. As much as I would like to see them in the game, like, I just don't think that'll be possible. Seeing as how Rare is no longer good buddies with Nintendo, they prefer that Xbox One.
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, Bomberman is currently owned by Konami.
Okay.
And Konami right now isn't really doing too hot with Nintendo.
So yeah, don't expect anything from Bomberman.
Exactly.
Please don't.
I think besides, we're not gonna have Smash 4 kind of ruined this, but let's not have more than one third-party representative for the same company. Like we have Bayonetta and Sonic for Sega.
We're already gonna have Sonic is definitely
and Mega Man for fucking Capcom.
We already have Sonic definitely gonna be in this one.
Sonic I feel like has become more of a Nintendo character than even like a Sega character, to be honest.
And quick question: is Namco also developing this game as well, like they did with the last one?
I don't know if they announced that.
If they are, then it's also safe to say that Pac-Man may come back. As for Mega Man, maybe.
I think Mega Man will. Mega Man was like, I feel like he brought the most hype when Smash Bros. Was released.
Right.
And besides, like, do you know how many people were like, I literally remember like in the early days of Smash Bros. For speculation, everyone wanted Mega Man. Everyone had Mega Man in the roster. That was like the big thing. That was like a game.
Mega Man was on Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah, like you would see, you would see like the occasional person who would pick Ryu. Ooh, give me a sec. I'll be right back. Sorry, my alarm was going off.
Okay, so
yes,
Ryu. Yeah, you were talking about Mega Man.
Oh yeah, like everyone wanted Mega Man. Mega Man was so requested. It was pretty much a given to have Mega Man in your roster. Like you would see the occasional like Ryu for the the Capcom rep, because at the time like everyone like it was kind of a unspoken rule that you can only have one rep per company.
Which I think it should stay that way, to be honest.
I could stay that way too, yeah. But okay. Like it's still like it'll be bothering, and it caused so much controversy. If they remove Mega Man, more so than like removing Mewtwo, I think.
Ooh, you brought up.
Or just as much. Like it'll be in the same level as like the controversy of like removing Mewtwo and Roy. Definitely.
I think we can live without Roy. I think we can survive. I think we can survive the face of humanity if Roy gets removed.
I think we can survive. The world will end.
Like if Roy, like when Smash 4, like I remember when Smash 4 was announced. Like I remember Mewtwo would never leave my damn mind. I'm like, nah, Mewtwo has to come back. He needs to. It's like he's popular, and Gen 6 gave him 2 megas.
2 megas.
It's like, Roy also kind of suffered through the same thing, but I never even gave thought about him until.
The thing is, like, with Pokemon, like, literally, like, a lot of people compare Fire Emblem to Pokemon when it comes to Smash Bros. And that they're constantly including new characters and constantly getting rid of older ones.
Oh, here's another theory that I may actually have to think about Pokemon that sort of falls into the same category for Roy. Okay. What if, instead of Decidueye, what if they do the same thing they did with Greninja? Because there's obviously going to be an 8th generation, and all the newer Pokemon games are going to be in the Switch. That's been confirmed. What if what if another Pokemon character gets confirmed, a Pokemon we've never seen or never heard of, and happens to be a grass type, just to have like grass, fire, and water? What if he makes it into Smash? Kind of like what Greninja did.
That would be perfect, honestly.
I'm just going to put unnamed Pokemon.
Yeah, like
unnamed Gen.
Yeah, the thing is, it's like Smash Bros. Tends to skip a generation. Like Smash Bros. Skipped Gen 3. They skipped
Gen 5.
Yeah, they skipped Gen 5.
Zoroark would have been an alright
inclusion, but been perfect. It would have been perfect. But I'm okay.
Well, we got Greninja. That's still a good.
Yeah, I love Greninja anyway, so it's like.
So I'm just gonna have Decidueye and the unnamed Generation 8 Pokemon just in case.
Yeah, just in case. That's obviously gonna be one or the other, more likely the Gen 8 Pokemon, but hey, whatever.
Who knows? Maybe we won't even get any of them.
Yeah.
We'll probably get Bayonetta's mom for all I know.
Oh dear God.
Hey, what about Impa?
I want Impa to be in the game. I was gonna say Impa. I wasn't sure if you were gonna agree with that because I'm a huge Impa fan.
Well, alright. Why? Okay, actually, there was still that list that you were reading with the one that we like completely forgot out there of Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah. Impa's not on it, like a lot of it is like I'd say like a quarter of it is returning characters. Like a quarter of the list is returning characters.
I sort of got a fucking Pichu
I feel like
in
if
there.
it was just news characters, it would be Impa because like Impa is a character you see very common in like lists of like top 10 characters for Smash Bros. 5.
Also, I'm gonna like throw this out here. I want to ask why would people want Impa? I have not played. I played Zelda. Okay, let me just throw that out. I'm already gonna hear people telling me that I have zero childhood. I played Phantom Hourglass.
You already have no childhood with Zelda.
That is like my one Zelda game that I've played from beginning to end, and I like it. Fuck you. I have arrangements to play Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask this spring break, so I'll have the Zelda knowledge in me.
I can actually give you like my copy of Ocarina of Time for.
I already have Ocarina of Time. I have them on GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Frank's gonna get me Wind Waker. Frank has like 6 copies of Wind Waker. He's gonna give me one. And Twilight Princess, I don't know. Frank will either get the HD remake on the Wii U, and then we'll play that. I'm not playing the Wii version. But anyway, why is Impa a popular choice?
Okay.
Someone who's never played Legend of Zelda.
So ever since Brawl, there was kind of an unspoken rule of there being an even amount of Mario, Pokemon, and Zelda characters. Obviously that's not the case anymore, but I still think it should be the case because of Nintendo's big franchise. And I feel like it's kind of unfair that Fire Emblem, which is, still it's a well-established franchise, has more representation than Zelda.
Right.
And the thing about adding a newcomer with Zelda is that there aren't many recurring characters in Zelda. Like, outside of Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, there isn't really much to go off of. And the best choice is Impa. Impa represents a lot in the series. Like, for example, she is, first of all, a Sheikah. She is a sage. She's basically she's literally the guardian angel of Zelda. And I kind of say that because of Skyward Sword, like, the goddess in Skyward Sword, Hylia, she basically, literally picked out Impa to protect her future incarnations. And so a lot of people think that Impa is kind of in a similar vein of Link and Zelda, and that she's constantly reincarnating to protect Zelda.
Okay.
And with how big the Sheikah were in Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword, with how big they've become in the more recent Zelda games, I feel like it's a little unfair to include Sheik, who was literally just a disguise for Zelda, and not include Impa. Some people think they would be clones. I disagree. I think Impa would have a bit more of a magical ninja-based moveset a little bit.
Impa's only been in Ocarina of Time?
Impa's been in Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, the Oracle games, and even the original Zelda
games. So she's been winning way more games than Sheik.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's already a good enough reason for me.
There isn't much to go off of for a moveset with Impa, but there's still something. I mean, if they could make a moveset for Zelda and Sheik, they could make a moveset for Impa, and it's very easy to make a moveset for Impa.
Okay, so that's...
If you want, I could make a moveset for Impa and present it in a next podcast or something.
We don't need to do movesets. I just want to talk about the characters that people often are talking about, who they want.
Yeah.
I don't think... Okay, this is a really dumb one for me personally. It's kind of a bias, and it's kind of a slight bias for me.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, there's 2 characters in mind, actually. They're from the same series, but I feel like only one of them will return, and it will be a likely chance that neither of these characters will even make the presence. I love Star Fox, personally, and removing Wolf, to me, was a crime.
Yes!
I also have a friend that...
I'm surprised there wasn't as much outrage for it.
So...
a lot of people were pissed off that Roy and Mewtwo didn't come back. And then I guess it's because Star Fox isn't as popular, but then as Pokemon, but then again, Fire Emblem is nowhere near as popular as Pokemon.
I get that we got a I get that we got a Star Fox prequel on the Wii U, and I'm not sure if they're planning to. Oh, Star Fox 2, duh. But whatever. I'm pretty sure they want to bring the franchise back to its roots.
It's having like a sort of resurgence now.
Okay. The thing is, I'm not sure if this character kind of counts as a new character thing, because it's technically a returning character. So I would technically want to put Wolf in the maybe section, but the other character I was thinking about was Crystal.
That was a K, bitch.
Oh, sorry. I guess I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, I used to I remember in my first roster, before Smash Bros was released. Smash Bros 4 was announced on E3 of 2013, 14, I think. I don't know. Definitely while we were in freshman year. Crystal was a very popular choice for a new Star Fox rep, because a lot of people thought that they would keep adding Star Fox reps, because that was kind of the case so far, with Melee and Brawl.
Right.
And I think Crystal's a great addition. She could use her staff from what was it, Star Fox Adventures, I think it was called?
Yeah, Star Fox Adventures.
Yeah, she could use staff. She's a telepath, so she could do some telepathy stuff. Screw with the minds of her opponents or something. There's a lot you could do with her, and with Wolf, I'm really surprised they didn't put Wolf in the game, considering.
Oh, they did. They did put Wolf in the game. He's Fox. The stupid costume that they had for them.
Wolf was literally the last character added in Brawl. That's why. You notice that he has a lot of similar animations for his attacks compared to other characters like Sonic and Diddy Kong.
Huh, wait. Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, he has he shares a lot of animations with other characters like Sonic and Diddy Kong, his neutral air, his up smash, his down air.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
There's a video about
his neutral air. Oh, that makes sense now. This neutral air is very similar to Sonic's now that I really look at it.
Yeah, but it
down
also explains why his movements in Brawl are so jerky. Why they're so quick and a little awkward at times. But then again, he's a wolf, so you could sort of excuse that with him being very feral.
I can't believe, for someone that basically jerks off to frame rates, to frame rates and the frame animations on each of the characters, I'm really surprised I didn't even think about that. It's they're very similar.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
No, I'm very surprised actually. Literally, if you also need to know something, I just basically look at the frames, how each movesets, how much frames that each move takes, Mario's 2-frame jab, for instance. I look at those things, and I even looked at Wolf, because Wolf is actually one of my secondaries in Brawl. Actually, in Project M, I kind of use them a lot more. He's actually becoming one of my mains in PM, because I've been getting used to the speed of PM and Melee, but I'm surprised I never even noticed half of the similarities that Wolf shared with the other cast, or at least in terms of his animation. That actually kind of surprises me. But
yeah, I didn't notice that either until someone pointed it out. I was like, holy shit, that's right.
When did you find that out, actually?
Not too long ago. I think it was a month ago, maybe a little more. I don't know.
I'll definitely look into that more.
It was definitely after New Year's that I found out. But
what other very well-known
video about it? I'll see if I can find it and send it to you.
What other well-known franchises does Nintendo have? I'm not even gonna get into F-Zero because what the fuck are they gonna add?
F-Zero's dead as fuck.
Until they make an F-Zero game on the Switch, which I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But even if they do, what the fuck are we gonna add? Without making them into Captain Falcon clones.
What Aang was in Legend of Korra. He just appeared at times and then just disappeared.
Right, so I'm not gonna touch F-Zero. The thing about Dixie Kong, I wouldn't mind it, but wouldn't she be a Diddy clone in a way?
A lot of people think that would be the case, and personally I think that too, but I think there's still room for some differences, like at
I'm
least
gonna
enough
put her
for it
in
to be
because a
like
lot of people are really
Fox and
fussing
Falco
her.
difference, you know? Like that level of difference,
Right.
like Mario and Luigi, Fox and Falco.
I'm putting Dixie Kong in this new character request thing because people are asking for the character.
Yeah, like a lot of people say that she could have like a lot of moves, like with her hair. Her
She whips her
ulti
hair
would be
back
like
and
a little
forth.
helicopter hair thing. I think she has her own gun in the cause you know in the Donkey Kong games, like for a while, they did this for a while. They're still doing this with Diddy Kong, but for a while, like all the characters had their own kind of gun, which is the funniest thing. Like Donkey Kong had a coconut gun, Diddy Kong had the peanut shooter. I think Lanky Kong had like a mango gun or something. I don't know.
Okay. And I don't think Kid Icarus even has another set of characters.
I would love for Kid Icarus to get like another game because I love that game so much. It was so much fun. I like replayed it like 3 times. I think it's just fine with like Pit and Palutena. You're gonna add Dark Pit at least to make him different because there is reason to make him different. Like Kid Icarus Uprising had like a ton of weapons to choose from. Like it wasn't just bows. It was like you had stabs, swords, clubs, orbitars. You had like a bunch of like really interesting weapons that you can make a moveset off of. And I'm surprised that they didn't do that with the Dark Pit when they did that with Pit. Like all of Pit's special moves are based on like these different weapons, like the upper dash arm, the guardian orbitars.
There's another one.
And even then, Dark Pit has a signature weapon in the game, and it isn't even his bow. It's a staff.
I personally feel like Dark Pit was added as a last-minute inclusion because of that.
Sakurai stated that Dark Pit, Lucina, and Dr. Mario were last-minute inclusions.
Should have not added.
He compares like his addition to clones to like dessert.
By the way,
like,
any other?
Yeah, like the new characters are like I think it was the new character. No, I think it was returning characters are the appetizers. New characters are the main course, and then like the clones are like dessert. That's a shitty dessert. Just saying.
Any Earthbound characters that are actually well known besides Ness and Lucas?
There's Klaus.
Klaus is Lucas's brother.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
He dies. He kills himself.
Spoiling like a 15-year-old game. No, but actually I think it might be older now. Fuck. Klaus could have a very different moveset because a lot of his moves are based on like technology. Like he has this sort of like sword that shoots lightning, and he has like these cybernetic wings. And there's like a lot you can do with Klaus, but the thing is like Earthbound isn't really a popular franchise. It's not. It's kind of dead. Like Mother 3 hasn't even been like localized yet. And it's super old. It's a pretty old game. You'd think they would by now, but they haven't.
By the way, okay, so I also decided to look up like top 10 Smash Bros. Like characters for Smash Brothers, and half of these lists are just bonkers. For fuck's sake, Toon Ganondorf,
I see
Steve from Minecraft, Dark Samus. I'm like, come on, people.
Dark Samus I can kind of get behind, but it's like no.
No, they're gonna obviously make her into a clone. No.
That's true.
Okay, so
they did with Dark Pit, they did Dr. Mario. It's like, boy.
Also, let me point this out: characters that will be removed. Dr. fucking Mario.
Yes, preach.
Okay, so anybody else that you have in mind?
Dark Pit.
Oh no.
Lucina. Fucking Corin.
We'll get to the removing characters thing in a second. It's just we keep mentioning Dr. Mario's. I just needed to get that out of my system.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's think of like.
Keep in mind, I know this is another installment. It doesn't have to necessarily go over 15 or anything. We can at least have standards. Like, how many would you want to predict?
Well, should we add Inkling? Because we know Inkling is.
No, Inkling's already been confirmed. Like, let's think of characters that aren't confirmed. Let's make up to 10. Actually, since most people generally go for 10, let's do 10.
Yeah, let's do 10. Yeah, so 3 more.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We have 7.
5, 6. Okay, I almost counted unnamed and then Gen 8 Pokemon as 2 separate things for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's think of 3 more.
Okay, let's see. A lot of people.
Blaziken.
Fuck no, that's Captain Falcon.
That you're saying.
Okay, so a lot of people really want Isaac. I remember Isaac being really popular back in the day, and he's still pretty popular among Smash Bros. Fans.
This is Tails Isaac, right? Please tell me this is Tails Isaac.
No, it's not Tails Isaac. It's Golden Sun. It was this game that was on the Game Boy, and then they had another game on the DS.
Okay.
It's pretty old.
Okay, for a second, because my next guess was going to be Dead Space Isaac, and I was going to be really disappointed in the Smash community.
No,
First of all, he's already in PlayStation All-Stars, so sorry.
A lot of people think he might be added because they did something similar with Lil Mac where it was like an assist trophy, and then he had his own game revived, and then freaking like
is this how you spell Isaac, by the way?
Yeah. But the thing is, Isaac is missing that one thing, and that is having a new game. He hasn't had a new game in a long time. In fact, Isaac isn't even the main character in the 3rd game. It's his son, Matthew, that's the main character. I love Isaac to be in the game. He has a very interesting moveset. Like, he can use, like, earth-based magic and stuff. Like, he'd be very different compared to other mages that we have in Smash. We don't even have that many mages. Like, Zelda, Corrin. Like, Ganondorf barely counts as a mage. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, first of all, is this how you spell Isaac? Let me start with that.
You spelled it with 2 A's, right? Yeah, it's with 2 A's.
Okay. What about the new Xenoblade game that came out?
Oh, yeah, that one. I don't know. It's like, apparently it has like 2 protagonists, so we have to pick one or the other, and I don't know much of it.
Okay.
Like, are you talking about Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Okay.
Because I hear that game was like fantastic, so I mean, I'm assuming that they would probably be thinking about adding another Xenoblade character. We just have Shulk, and I guess Xenoblade can be like a sort of a growing franchise for Nintendo, kind of like what Fire fucking Emblem is doing.
Let's just hope they don't add like 50 Xenoblade characters in freaking Smash Bros. Like, Jesus Christ. If they
Naked Shulk will be his own character.
Right? Like, there's so many franchises that could be like marketed through Smash Bros. But it's like only Fire Emblem that's doing that. Fire Emblem, like 3rd-party characters, that's it. It's
like, Smash and Kingdom Hearts, I swear, are the only 2 franchises where we literally just complain to the creators. Sakurai, why the fuck are you doing this? Nomura, why are you doing this? Why you gotta give Donald the Keyblade? I swear, it's just getting to that point.
Grandma has Keyblade now. You fight like my grandma! You fought your grandma?
Okay, so I'm just having Isaac here as like a maybe.
Placeholder.
Yeah. I'll just put like a little,
See, I'm thinking like, I'm not sure if we should add a Mario character as a thing.
Okay, here's the thing. I liked Rosalina. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like Rosalina. Fuck her. She's annoying as fuck. But I'm just saying, she was a good
addition.
I'm gonna be sick. Okay, thank you for saying it for me. Compare that to Bowser Jr., who was also not a bad inclusion. I was not a big fan of. And I love Bowser Jr., but it's like,
I feel like Bowser Jr. makes sense to be in Smash.
It makes sense, but it's like, I don't know if I really...
they're both fairly recent characters, and they both become so popular.
But I don't know if I really want them back, is the thing. Like, I don't know if
Like, in the trailer that came out for Smash 5, there was, some people think that there's a silhouette, like, on the far left corner, that looks kind of like Bowser Jr. and his like little clown car.
So I really gotta start looking at silhouettes now.
Yes.
every subtle detail. I'm actually gonna look that actually. Well, this one seems.
So obviously, like.
Okay. Well.
Like I said, you see the one on the. Dear God.
Jeez. Okay. There we go.
You see the one on A lot of people think the one on the far left is either Yoshi or Bowser Jr. I think it could be either or.
I like how half of these characters are characters we know are gonna come back.
Yeah. Like obviously Marth, Link, Mario, Olimar.
This silhouette looks like Ganon, I'm just saying.
He looks like Ganon, yeah. Watch, they're actually gonna make Ganon like an actual freaking character.
What?
Like they're not gonna make him a clone anymore.
Oh, that's what you meant. I'm like, I hate
He's basically making a new character, Ganon 2.0.
Oh, so this one's now saying that this is.
Oh!
Oh wow! I didn't. No, I'm gonna save that one for returning characters. That we're doing new characters. I see. So you gotta have to wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I got nothing. I don't have keen eyes unlike the entire internet.
Yeah.
So.
But he's in return. I mean, there's no reason not to include him. I mean, he's very popular. Bowser Jr.
Okay, let's focus on the new characters right now, and then we'll get to the older characters.
So let's see, we have 2 more slots left.
We were talking about a new Mario character. Is there anybody? The Hat from Mario Odyssey.
Cappy. No, I've always been a big advocate for Toad. I really like Toad. I think
for fuck's sake, Toad is busy in Peach's vagina, and you know it. He's not going to be a character, and I'm not going to put him.
Toad to be in the game so badly, but I know they're not going to do it. The thing is, like,
so what? Gino's
who else can you add? We already have the hero, the damsel in distress, the sidekick, the main villain. We have basically God.
God?
And her servant. And Bowser Jr.
He's more like Satan to me, if you ask me.
Like, that's it, like, the only one that could make sense is Toad. And the only reason why I don't think they're gonna have Toad is because Toad is busy being her neutral special. But then again, you could change it with Toadsworth, which is a thing.
Well, then again, he might be a bit of a pervert and none of us know. Or Professor Egad.
He's not that popular to begin with, so.
Well, according to game theory, Egad is the real villain of the entire Mario franchise.
You know he's been doing, like, weekly theories now? It's no longer, like, monthly. I think he's doing monthly.
I honestly stopped... I didn't stop following game theory, I just don't really care about his content, really. So it's like, I just watch it every time there's a new Five Nights at Freddy's theory that I look at.
It's like every time, like, I occasionally check his channel. I'm not subscribed to it, but I occasionally check it, and it's like, Five Nights at Freddy's new theory, we were wrong!
I'm getting sick and tired of that franchise. Oh, Freddy Fazbear should obviously be in Smash, if you know what I mean.
You didn't get me started. Aside from Undertale!
No one from Undertale. No! Shut up.
Okay, so, I don't know, there's not much we could add for a Mario character.
Yeah, obviously Zelda.
So we already have everyone.
We already have
oh
Zelda.
My god, someone put freaking Tails in their list.
Oh no, I saw Knuckles in the one I was looking at and I gave up in life.
Someone put, like, okay, get this. They put Tails, Klonoa.
What?
Klonoa's like a Namco character.
No, I know who Klonoa is.
Someone put fucking Shrek as an honorable mention just to see how the trolls would react. And then they go on to put,
so
like,
this one may have some... Okay, I recognize literally none of these characters.
Well, name them out. I think I could probably do that.
Okay, there's Savvy Stylist from Savvy Stylist. A character from Bravely.
A YouTuber that I watched was jokingly playing that game just for the fun of it.
A character from Bravely Default.
No, I love Bravely Default, but no for these characters. It was probably like Agnes.
Agnes Oblige, whatever how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I love her to death, but no.
Who's Kalista?
She's acceptable.
Who's Kalista?
What?
Who's Kalista from the last story?
Never heard of her.
Okay, so that's a big no. Oh hey, I think you and I just found the same list now because I'm seeing Tails, Roy, Isaac, Impa, Ryu, Klonoa, Ridley, Wolf, Ice Climbers, and King K. Rool.
Yeah,
and one of them has Shrek. Machamp? Really?
No more Capcom characters. Jesus Christ.
Okay. You know what?
Waluigi, I'm so done.
Actually, would that not be a good one? Waluigi?
No.
Okay.
Waluigi. Wait. Waluigi was
okay, we got nothing with the new character, so let's move on and we'll come back to them later. We're probably really bad at interpreting it. We're definitely more confident with these two, or more like we fucking better get these two, or else we're gonna burn down Sakurai's house.
I'm including Impa in that list. So like, you better include these, or we'll burn the fucking world down.
Impa's here, either Decidueye or a Generation 8 Pokemon.
That's
Crystal, Dixie Kong, and then I don't know. Isaac is just there, to be honest.
Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah. So the last.
Wait, one part. Some people really think they're gonna include an ARMS character, like Springman from ARMS, the dude with like.
Well, that's true. ARMS has become popular recently.
Yeah.
So, what's his name again?
Springman.
Springman, or fucking Springtrap from Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. So, that's all for the new characters. For now, we literally don't have much. This game came out a bit early, I guess you can say. To the point that I'm not even sure. You have to really dive into the past. Like, what other retro gimmick that they had in the past, like, right next to Game & Watch and Rob? Virtual Man?
There's Sukapon, which was, like, a Nintendo Switch fighting game.
It needs to be a little bit more known. Though.
Yeah.
Like Robotic Operating Buddy I've heard of before.
It's like really popular, same with Game & Watch. I don't know. I really don't know.
Like, I don't know. There wasn't really anything from the Virtual Boy. Let's see, what, you're going to add a walking Virtual Boy?
Yeah, they were actually deciding, like, when they were replacing Ice Climbers because of, like, technological restraints on the 3DS, they were, like, looking at other NES characters that were really well sold. And they were like, and there's Balloon Man, but, like...
What are you gonna do? It's like his projectile's probably gonna be the worst in the entire game.
Yeah, and also Villager already has like what makes Balloon Man iconic.
Also, right, he has like
Balloon Fighter. That's his name, Balloon Fighter. Yeah, and the other one was like Sight Bike, and
keep in mind these are probably gonna be like the only Nintendo characters that will be in the game. For all I know, they'll probably add like Rayman in the game. Okay, so I think the interesting part will be discussing the characters that we want to see removed from the roster. We already got Dr. fucking Mario.
Let's see. Let me pull up the roster again.
Right. Is it a stretch to say Bayonetta?
I don't think it's a stretch.
Because
I really like Bayonetta. I really like her character. I think she's a very interesting character, but it's like, I don't know why they added her, to be honest.
Oh, no, I can tell you why they added her. Because everybody voted for her. And, no, everybody from Europe voted her. And then everybody from America was too busy voting for Goku.
They're like, yeah, let's have a Spanish-British girl. A Spanish chick with a British accent, because that's a thing.
Everybody was too busy voting for Goku over here. There you go.
So true. It's your fault that we have.
What do you want Sakurai to do?
Like, I remember when like Trump became like elected president, and like every liberal was like yelling at every libertarian or every third party voter, and they were like, "It's your fault we have Trump."
Oh yeah, those are the dark times.
Dear God.
I'm also gonna put Cloud here because Ryu.
The thing is, like, I would love Cloud to be in the game, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of unlikely. Ryu as well, yeah.
Is it?
I can Ryu.
Corrin?
I think he's gonna get removed.
Really?
It did not sell well.
I was gonna say, oh really? Oh, okay. I was actually gonna say, like, it's probably the most recent one. They kept Ike. I mean...
Yeah, but Ike's game was really popular, and he had a sequel.
Okay, so, Corrin, you're out. Sorry, buddy.
He's one of the very few Fire Emblem characters that actually get their sequels.
Maybe actually get a good game next time, buddy. As much as I like this character,
I kind of want to say Robin, but I think Robin is such an interesting
either
character.
Lucina or Robin, and that they're gonna pick
Lucina.
Fire Emblem Awakening. Yeah, let's say it. Fire Emblem Awakening. I can definitely say, unlike the other one, is pretty much considered to be one of the best ones, if not the best Fire Emblem game.
Yeah, it's one of the best-selling Fire Emblem games.
And personally, I would have Lucina over. Personally, I'd have Chrom over both of them. But Robin is already in the game. We don't want another Marth clone. If we're gonna, Roy at most is probably the only Marth clone I'll take. I never agreed to the point of having Lucina. I remember when I saw the trailer for Robin and Lucina, I was actually more excited for Robin than I was with Lucina. Despite me using Lucina way more than...
I was so hyped to see like Lucina's moveset, like when she was like, I'll fight alongside you! And then she did the same thing as, I was like, oh boy, we get to see like, you know, like what she could do, like all these like, because I saw a lot of like speculation movesets for her, and I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be awesome. And then she's doing the same thing that Marth does, and I'm like,
wow.
Oh, she's a Marth clone.
Yay, we haven't had enough of that, did we?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't put Chrom in the game because he'd be too similar to Ike. Gives us a Marth clone. Gives us a Marth clone. So, Lucina, I like you, Lucina. You were a pretty good secondary of mine, but you gotta go. Sorry, buddy.
We'll call her Faye. Fuck off. She's 12.
No. I didn't even know why. She looks a bit too old to be 12.
Dude, Nintendo doesn't know how to like draw kids. Like you have like all the female Pokemon characters are like between the ages of like 10 and 11, with the exception of Black and White, because I think they were like 14 in Black and White. But yeah, like everyone else is like 10 or 11. They all got boobs. Doesn't that bother you? A 10-year-old with boobs.
That's the one who probably likes Serena. And she got no boobs. I don't see any boobs on that one.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, until they actually give a different... Unless they're going to actually do a different moveset for this one, Dark Pit.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that Dark Pit's out. Let's see, who else could they remove?
If there are characters that were not...
I really think that's it. Like, Smash Bros. Typically removes around like 4 to 5 characters. Like, they removed 5 characters for Melee. Well, from Melee to Brawl. And those are Mewtwo, Dr. Mario, Toon Link, Pichu, and who else was removed? Toon Link, Dr. Mario, Pichu.
It's Young Link, by the way. Young Link, Mewtwo, Roy.
Roy, that's it, Roy, yeah. I was forgetting about Roy. With Brawl, it was...
Snake.
I don't want to say Lucas because he was added back again.
No, I'm not counting. Yeah.
But there's a reason why they couldn't add Ice Climbers, which is why I think they're going to return. I'll get to that when we get to returning characters. So Ice Climbers, Wolf, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Snake. Yeah, our characters.
Okay, so I think this is definitely fine.
Yes, definitely fine.
And let's be fair, none of these characters. I mean, I guess with the exception of Dr. Mario, for some reason, none of these characters were that well received, I guess. Okay, like Dr. Mario, I know many people like for some dumb reason. Like literally, you can because they like. Okay, I guess I'm talking about Melee more often than Smash 4 because Dr. Mario was the stronger Mario. I don't know, I guess more people like Dr. Mario and Melee more. The point is, I know a lot of people that wanted Dr. Mario in Brawl and Smash 4. And also, Dr. Mario was supposed to be planned for Brawl, which is kind of like, weirds me out.
There were files.
I don't even like his,
all of the Melee returning characters have files. And Brawl.
Wait, even Pichu?
Yeah, Mewtwo and Roy were the most developed, to my knowledge. Whereas Dr. Mario, Pichu, and Young Link.
What?
Like, Young Link, they just put in Toon Link. But yeah, like...
Why Pichu?
Dr. Mario and Pichu, they just, like, had, like, a file there, and they just never did anything with it.
Okay, I was about to say, like, don't tell me that Pichu was planned to be in Brawl. Come on.
Yeah, they just, like... It was just, like... I think it was just, like, a just in case. Like, the only was that...
Just in case for what? That they couldn't get Lucario to look exactly like Mewtwo?
Yeah,
And
I mean, you could explain like a lot of Lucario's movesets with Mewtwo, like Aura Sphere and his down throw. Like his down throw has him literally levitating the opponent over his head and then smacking him on the ground. I mean, it was kind of changed in 4 to make it look more like he's actually like carrying his opponent, but it's still like Lucario has psychic powers for some reason.
Yeah, Lucario was the one I actually looked at a lot of similarities between him and Mewtwo, not Wolf and Diddy Kong and Sonic.
Yeah, and then people are like, oh my god! Lucario is a clone of Mewtwo! Ike is a clone of Roy!
Oh god, don't even get me started with that one.
Don't get started on those people, Jesus
Okay, so
Christ.
Dr. Mario, I guess he was pretty well received in Melee, and then he came back in Smash 4, whoop-de-doo, and lo and behold, he's like one of the worst characters in the game. I don't know why anybody really want him. I personally think they should do the same thing what they did with Project M. Yeah, the people who didn't make...
A costume.
Well, not only that, but give him like a sort of... Not just that, but give him like the strength of Dr. Mario and the same recovery of Mario, because normal Mario had a better recovery, but Dr. Mario was stronger. So give him that same strength of Doc, and then implement it into normal Mario. It's better than just
do that.
I mean, I guess the only difference is you're not going to have his down B, but I think more people seem to be working with the FLUDD more than him spinning around like a ballerina.
I don't know if they would do that because, like, I don't know if they would consider as a transformation character. Because, and I think they might do it because it's like...
I'm not even saying to put him as a
literally
costume.
transforming a character, it's like...
I'm not even going to count it as a costume as the thing.
Samus takes off her armor. Sheik puts on, Zelda puts on a ninja armor. Dr. Mario puts on a lab coat.
And then all of a sudden can spin and you can't use FLUDD. I don't know. I personally think they can work things out with normal Mario than using Doc, personally. Bayonetta.
Bayonetta was really only included for the Fire Rally.
And not only that... We all know the controversy with Bayonetta, so either nerf the fuck out of her to the point that she's bottom tier, or, I don't know, don't include her in the game. Like, honestly, I just feel like this was like a complete accident. This was something that nobody really wanted. If it got to the point where we saw the trailer and we already knew she was going to be broken, nobody was... Everybody's saying that, come on, you saw the trailer with me.
Everyone was like, I remember there's like, you know the SpongeBob like scary thing, like, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Where they put that like for her combos, and I was just laughing my ass off. Like,
we saw that trailer, and I already knew she was like, "Oh God, we got someone."
As soon as they said she's easy to combo with, I was like,
perhaps a bit too easy. So then, okay, Cloud, I guess, is probably the most well-received out of the bunch next to Doc, but to be clear...
If anything, I think he's the most likely to return out of, like, these characters.
But even then, he also has his fair share of controversy. He's hands down the best character in doubles. He's, like, literally the only character with the most consistent doubles results. Double Clouds is probably becoming more common than Meta Knights in Brawl, and that's a lot to damn say.
Yeah.
He's hands down the second most consistent character right behind Bayonetta. And it's like, I don't know if... Obviously that up air, though, gives me PTSD every time. Remember when Cloud first came out after we saw The Force Awakens and we went home and Alec was kicking our ass with Cloud? Fucking Alec, the same person who started the game with a Wii Remote and Nunchuck, meaning Link, who always got 3-stocked by my Link.
And didn't even use his items. I mean, not items, like Link specials.
Like, for fuck's sake, this is also the same person who spams down B. He's not bad. I'm just saying he's a very inconsistent gamer. He can beat us.
He kicks our asses, but like one day he'll kick our asses, and in that same day he will get 3-stocked.
He'll get 2-stocked by a random Full Glory Jigglypuff using Cloud. So, I guess there's not much to say about Ryu personally.
That person was like recording the video. I just imagine that person recording the video of like, you know, like Jigglypuff like beating up Cloud. They literally put it in the title. I beat up Cloud Rings, it's for glory. No,
see, you don't need to buff the Puff. Puff has already been buffed. So, you know there's a website that's like counting down how long has it been since Jigglypuff hasn't been buffed?
Yeah.
It's called buffthepuff.com. Oh my god, that's too funny. Anyway, Ryu...
I hate, like, those videos that are like, oh, this character in Smash Bros. 4 is broken, and here's why. They did with, like, Game & Watch, which I kind of understand why, and doubles, but it's like they're doing that with everyone now, and it's so annoying.
It's probably just a
It's like, Freak, you can combo! Neat!
It's satirical. Dude, there's even a dude, like, his name, there's this YouTuber named Little Z who always points out, like, oh, this character's OP, and he just makes, like, a really funny compilation combo video. The first character he did was Wario, for fuck's sake. And my personal favorite was the one they did for Cloud and Bayonetta. It's called $5.99 is OP. Because their characters are worth like $5. No, $4.99. I'm sorry. They're $5. You pay $5 to win, basically. That's the joke.
Huge.
So with Ryu, I mean, there's not much to say about Ryu other than he's a really solid character, and then, you know, he's cool and all.
Yeah, Ryu has a history with Nintendo, but it's like, why add another Capcom?
I much prefer having Mega Man. Like, Ryu's good, I guess, for that time, but please no. Like, unless they haven't announced Street Fighter 6 yet, don't worry, no rush. Okay, so that's pretty much self-explanatory. Corey can go fuck himself. That's all I have to say. I already talked about Lucina and Dark Pit, so I don't need to get into it. So that's all the characters that I think will definitely be removed. Now, as for maybes, I always have Roy for the same. I already mentioned Roy a little bit because Roy, a popular character, definitely like a character that a lot of people would be happy to see come back. He was planned to be in Brawl as well, but like there really isn't much for the character other than him having red hair.
Like, let me explain, like, Roy. Okay, so a lot of people make comparisons from the Fire Emblem cast and the Pokemon cast in Smash Bros. Because they're constantly adding new characters and constantly replacing older ones. The thing about Pokemon is that Pokemon, like, all the characters are Pokemon. And they're all accessible in all the games. So it's not like Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem, on the other hand, it's kind of like Final Fantasy, and that each game, for the most part, is set in like their own little world. Like, some of them do share a universe, kind of. Like, for example, like, Fire Emblem Awakening is the same, like, universe as, like, to my knowledge, it is the same universe as the same one that Ike is from and the same one that Marth is from.
Right.
And so my knowledge, most of them take place in their own continuity, kind of like Final Fantasy. And they're not all accessible in the same game. Like, you're not gonna get, like, you're not gonna find Marth in Fire Emblem Fates. You're not gonna find Ike in Fire Emblem Fates. If anything, the only time that you will find those characters together are in, like, crossover games like Fire Emblem Warriors, or Smash Bros. Like, those are where you will find your crossovers, your favorites, like your Marths, your Lins, your Roys, your Ikes. But it's like, I don't know, that's why it's not like Pokemon. For Pokemon, Mewtwo is accessible in every game. Like, you can have a Mewtwo in Red and Blue, and you can have Mewtwo in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Oh wow, that's actually, well, can you count him in 5th gen?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. There's an event.
Oh well, not excluding mystery gift events, because obviously no brainer Red and Blue. I don't remember if you can ever catch him in Gen 2.
You can still transfer, like, from Fire Red all the way up.
I was about to say Gen 3 and 4 are
like, that's still a thing.
Yeah, Gen 6 also added them as a,
but it's still a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can still do it. The possibility is there. You can't do that with Fire Emblem characters. It's just the nature of the beast, basically. Pokemon just has a very different nature to Fire Emblem, and I don't think we should be comparing the two franchises, especially since they're both so different in how they handle themselves that it's not even worth comparing, really.
So, bottom line is, Roy may come back, but there's also a possibility he won't. I'm not going to lose my shit if he doesn't.
Because he's not all that recurring. Like, his arc in Fire Emblem is done. It's already done. Like, he's had 2 games, and I don't even think he was the main character.
I was about to say, isn't he? Wasn't that the father in the other one?
Yeah, one of them was Elijah. I don't know if Elijah is his son or his father. I forget. I'm not too big on Fire Emblem.
Also, also a little note. Just because he was in Fire Emblem Awakening as a DLC, does not also give him merits. Again, that's more reason for me to keep Lucina than Roy.
Exactly.
Anyway,
And Lucina's arguably more popular than Roy.
Yeah. Greninja, I mean, I already established that Greninja has a much better chance to come back, but there's always that room for like, oh, maybe they want to have maybe they want to have a limit of how much Pokemon characters they'll add, and I think out of all the Pokemon characters, I think I would remove Greninja, but I don't see a reason of removing him. I personally think he should stay. I think he's a great Pokemon. He's one of my
very iconic.
And not even a bias, because I don't even think he's even one of my favorite. I mean, he's one of my favorite starters, but I can definitely see the popularity. I get the appeal, and also Ash Greninja. Just saying.
Yeah, that was a big thing in the anime.
He's a little bit too iconic now to just remove and not give a shit. Like, it's almost as like a big what the fuck moment when Mewtwo was removed from Brawl, and then, you know. Point is, I don't think they should remove Greninja. There's a possibility where that's the case, but I think he should come back. I think he should stay. I think he's definitely worth staying.
Totally.
Newcomers. I already mentioned that I would like to bring back Wolf, but considering the fact that Star Fox hasn't really been as popular, there's still that possibility of yes and no. So,
should we also include the DLC characters that returned, like Lucas and Mewtwo?
Well, I'm more
in case they do the same thing that they did with Injustice, where in Injustice they didn't include any of the characters that were DLC in Injustice 2. Like Batgirl or
technically, well, I know they added. I know Batgirl was a DLC in Injustice 1, but Supergirl and Power Girl were actually more voted to be DLCs in Injustice 1, but they went with Batgirl anyway. So
same with Starfire and the other characters.
Right.
Yeah, because Batgirl's relevant to the comics, so.
But maybe that's a different story. Personally, I have no doubt that Lucas is gonna come back.
Same. I don't have much of a doubt either. Same with Mewtwo, but it's just.
The only doubt of Mewtwo not coming back is that he was removed once. That was the only doubt, and then he was withheld as DLC, which even then you can make a good argument that he was just left as DLC just to bring in more hype into the table. Because how many people wanted Mewtwo in the game? Like, almost everybody wanted Mewtwo back in Smash 4.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's back. Yeah, he's back. We got our wishes. Like, personally, I was really you remember back in sophomore where I was like, no, they gotta add Mewtwo. Only Mewtwo. I don't care about everybody else.
We argued about that so much. I was like, they're not gonna add Mewtwo. They've never done that with any other character. And they're gonna add Mewtwo. I just knew it.
And the game comes, and then it's like I remember I was so mad when the roster got leaked, the 3DS roster got leaked, and then Shulk got confirmed. I'm like, dude, I think I was in depression for quite a bit. I was in a corner really.
Wearing a fuckface over here, but you don't include Mewtwo, who's naked.
I should say that more often. I'm going to say that next time. If they choose to remove Mewtwo again. But that's honestly my only concern of them not adding Mewtwo, is that he was removed once. Once.
I don't think they're going to do it again, because Mewtwo is extremely popular. And he represents so much of the Pokemon series. He represents the legendaries, he represents the villain teams,
Team Rocket.
He represents a lot in the series.
Yeah, he's too iconic to let go.
Yeah.
And I think it was a really oddball decision. I mean, actually, they did confirm that Brawl, for a game that got delayed a lot, just saying, they didn't add Mewtwo and Roy because of time constraints. So if they didn't have that time problem, Mewtwo would have definitely been in Brawl for sure. And then there would be zero concern of him being removed from the roster. So I honestly don't see a reason of removing him, other than the same reason as he was removed last time.
And to the people who, I don't know if this is still a thing, but just in case, the people who think that, Mewtwo and Lucario are close, fuck off. Just literally, they are nothing alike. Shit! They got a fucking Kamehameha! They're calm, man, I'm telling you.
And just saying, Greninja also has a similar neutral special.
Oh shit, they're all calm with Kamehamehas.
So, I want to talk a little bit about Ice Climbers.
Okay.
Okay, so I know I have them as maybe, even though I'm a little bit more confident that they'll come back in the next game.
Yeah.
And unlike my original concern, like I remember if you caught me back in the good old days of speculation, I remember I always butchered on saying I'm so fucking happy that they removed Ice Climbers. They are the worst thing that ever happens in Smash. I get it, wobbling, infinite chain grab. Okay, they already toned down the infinite chain grabbing in Smash 4. There's literally no chain grabs. Let's just put it that way. There's
you had one, and it was with like Zeus and Samus and Robin, and they removed it in the next patch.
I remember even Dacus was like accidentally in the game.
That's right. I was so mad when they removed Dacus.
Dude, a little story of Dacus. Gavin and I, we didn't look it up. We actually discovered it like before people like realized, or at least people started publishing about it, because people were saying that Dacus was removed, and then Gavin and I found it immediately, like as like the second day it comes out. Literally, dude, we were using
in 4?
Yeah, it's in 4.
Okay, that's
so even before
I barely did any research for competitive. I didn't really get into competitive until like 4.
We did like I remember Gavin and I
did it randomly.
I remember Gavin picked me up from school once, and we went to his place because he lives like behind the school.
Yeah, exactly.
He was telling me about Dacus like supposedly being removed in the game, and I was like, yeah, I know, it was supposed to be removed. It's like, then what's this? And he does like Falco's Dacus. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, we literally didn't look up nobody recorded, up until Gimmer eventually uploaded it, but nobody seemed to have known about it at this point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were one of the first people to find out. Not to give us a pat on the ass. I'm just saying, that's a coincidence. I remember we used
football, Marcus. That's in football.
I used Greninja because of the Dacus for so long, and I remember I used it against people, and then like, damn, did we feel like the best players at the time? The best player for like 2 days.
Probably felt like the hottest shit.
Yeah, dude, we were like, yeah, but anyway. So chain grabs were removed, so there's no way Ices is gonna be as annoying as they were beforehand.
Yeah, definitely not going to be as powerful, but the only reason that they're probably going to come back is the only reason why they're removed. It was because of technical limitations.
Well, actually, no. There were 2 reasons why they were removed from Smash 4. The technical limitation on the 3DS version, and Sakurai didn't want to add Wii U exclusives, so pretty much removed them immediately. He also pointed out that they're not as popular as many of the other characters. Like, a lot of people, like, he did say that, it wasn't a big loss because Ices weren't really popular characters, like, for Smash.
Yeah, that is true, but then again, it's like, we have a lot of unpopular characters in Smash Bros. Anyways.
I'm just saying, that's the idea, that's the reason why he pointed out. So unless he sticks with that mentality, then that's still the possibility on the air that Ices...
Like, love them or hate them, they are very well known to Smash Bros.
Yeah,
they're very recurring characters in competitive play.
Yeah, a bit too known and a bit too used in competitive play.
Yeah, too used.
And I'm not even using a too pun. I'm just saying too much wobbling.
I actually two puns if you're guessing. Not gonna lie.
No, that was not even a pun. It's just like they probably used a bit too much. We all recognize them for the wrong reasons.
Exactly. But I still feel like it's weird not having them because every character... Like, I feel like... Should we segue this to returning characters?
Huh? I have to go maybe, so it's like it's a yes or no, whether they're returning or not.
Okay, mostly let's segue to returning characters in this comment. Every character that is from Smash 64 and Smash Bros. Melee has returned in Smash Bros. 4 and Brawl, except Ice Climbers. So it's really weird that they were removed out of the blue.
Right.
And not only that, but they're really common in returning rosters as well. I mean, yeah, they didn't cause that much outrage compared to, like, Roy and Mewtwo and Lucas for a bit.
Yeah.
But, it was still, like...
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they come back.
I'm not gonna, like, cry over it that they're not removed, but I will be surprised. I will be surprised, that's for sure.
Yeah, if they were not added, I'm not. If they're not added, I'm obviously not going to make it so much of a big deal. And if they were, I'm not going to make that big of a deal because I'm pretty sure this game is. Keep in mind, the Wii U version will have balance patches, so even if they were in the game, I'm pretty sure wobbling wouldn't be a big problem.
It probably would have been nerfed heavily.
Like. Probably, like, we don't even know how strong they'll actually be without it, to be honest, because that's a lot of thing. Like, Ices is actually, well, no, Ices is definitely capable of being pretty good without wobbling. We've seen it happening with certain players. They don't wobble and they still do really well with Ices. They just know how to use Ices, so there's still a possibility that they'll be pretty solid and not broken as fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we'll see what happens. Personally, I have them as maybe for that same reason of why Sakurai removed them in the first place, but it's still up in the air them returning. I don't see a reason for him removing it this time. The Switch is a way more powerful system than the fucking 3DS, so I'm pretty sure we're good with the ICs.
Exactly. So now segue to returning characters. I don't think there are any other maybes. To be honest.
Yeah, I have no maybes for Lucario. I'm pretty sure Lucario is going to come back.
Yeah, Lucario's definitely amazing.
Sonic is obviously going to come back. Mega Man is most likely going to come back. Pac-Man is... If the game is developed by Bandai Namco, then Pac-Man's definitely going to come back for sure.
By the way, I checked that, and so far there's no confirmation for that.
Okay, so I'm just going to put Pac-Man as a maybe if Namco did not develop the game. If they did, then Pac-Man's going to come back. But if they didn't, then maybe. Most likely not.
I feel like you're already rounding out like the most iconic third-party characters for Nintendo. It's like you have Mario, you have Sonic, Mega Man, now Pac-Man. It's like you have the big four. Or at least the big four back then, like in the 90s.
What's Pac-Man?
So I don't know. It's just weird to me that they would remove Pac-Man, even though he wasn't like super popular. For
I mean, buddy, I'm not sure if 90s is really.
It's like I don't see like much reason to remove them, to be honest.
Hold up, Mario was not made in the 90s. He was made.
Yeah, I know. Now it's Pac-Man, but like I'm saying, like since Sonic and Mega Man were made in the 90s and not in the 80s, it'd be weird if I said icons of the 80s, whereas Sonic and
I'd say icons of the late. I'd say icons of the late 1900s.
Dear God, they were literally brain spurt.
Yeah. So okay, on to the returning characters. Obvious choice is obvious. The original 12.
The original 12. Everyone that went from Melee to 4.
So basically, like, okay, let's think of Melee veterans like Bowser.
Okay, Bowser, Peach, Zelda. Ganondorf. Yeah.
I'm gonna put Toon Link, even though he's not really a melee veteran. Technically he is, but
technically is because young Link. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
Samus. Oh wait, sorry, Zero Suit Samus.
Zero Suit Samus, Falco. Lucario, Wario. There's no K!
I know. It's called luck. Because fuck rage mode.
I get it now.
Oreo. I'm gonna put Mewtwo in it just because fuck it.
Mewtwo, Lucas.
Why did Lucas get withheld as a DLC?
Dude, I don't even know. That's so weird. It's like, why remove the character from your most recent game? The protagonist of your most recent game. Just boggles the mind, really.
Also, like, I think wouldn't it also be pretty criminal they remove Lucas again? Because, like...
yeah, it'd be pretty weird.
It'd be pretty stupid. Like, come on,
I
keep the
love
guy.
Lucas.
Keep the guy.
Like, Lucas is like... I feel like Lucas is that one kid who I feel really sorry for and I just want to hug him and, like, tell him that everything's gonna be okay.
Lucas, who else?
My favorite blonde character.
I almost put in Captain Falcon, but I already typed in original 12.
Let's see, who else returned? Let me see. Olimar.
I don't care if you have Ralph as a costume. King D. Okay, I gotta point this out with King DDD. Make him... I much prefer throwing Waddle Dees over what you fucking did in Smash 4. I've gotten hit more times with that Gordo than my own opponents. My opponents, like, this is supposed to be King Dedede or Pichu. Come on. Do him right. Make him fucking good. I don't even care about the chain grab anymore. Like, come on. It was fun in Delfino, but Jesus. Like, I just... Back air sucks. Down air sucks. Everything sucks. Make him good again. He's like one of the few heavy characters that was good without rage mode.
Make Dedede great again.
Also, Broken Knights.
Broken Knights.
No, sorry. Let me write it out. The meta is the meta is Broken Knights. It's meta by the way.
I love it.
It's meta.
I love it. Let's see, Ike.
We like Ike.
Mr. Game Watch.
Game & Watch. Pits, let's
Rob.
oh yeah, I was about to say. Guy's favorite character in Smash Brothers, little known fact.
I mean,
Sonic, Mega Man, just because.
Yeah, Mega Man, Rosalina Bowser Jr. Let's see, who else? Palutena. I don't see them removing Palutena. Satan! I just said.
Wait, who was the other one? You mentioned someone. Oh, Bowser Jr.
Palutena.
No, Bowser
I said
Jr.
Bowser Jr. as well.
Yeah, I know. That was a character I missed.
Okay.
I was busy writing Satan.
Villager, Animal Villager, Animal Crossing is super successful.
Yeah.
Especially like with their app, the Animal Crossing app, it's doing pretty well.
Which you can get if you download this link now. Not sponsored.
Nintendo sponsor us. We love you.
Hashtag I'm a sellout. You think there's another? Oh, new character. I got one. Mike Tyson.
The first black character in Smash Bros. Since Ganondorf.
Or Mr. Dreamland.
Or Mr. Dreamland. Jesus Christ.
No. Just. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. I wanted to see them I want to see Wii Fit Trainer return.
Oh,
just to piss people off.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't she technically be a maybe?
I don't know. She represented thing is Wii Fit so Wii. So that's why they included her.
I'm gonna put her as a maybe because she's not.
To remove her. I think she's kind of like a joke character. She's kind of like Luigi in that sense, only not as popular.
I'm gonna put her as maybe because a lot of people don't really like Wii Fit Trainer, just in case. And it's like I'm not.
Yeah, I'm still removing
I don't care.
I
wouldn't mind if they put her in. I didn't mind Wii Fit Trainer actually.
Yeah, I thought she was really cool. Shulk, honestly, removing Shulk.
No, yeah, hands down, no.
Duck Hunt, honestly, removing Duck Hunt either. And that's about it. Those are all the returning characters. Do you want to discuss, do you want to discuss anything else, or should we end it off here and discuss, something else next time?
I mean, okay, I guess, we can do, I guess another topic we can talk, because obviously the characters are, the bread and butter, the meat of the game, but...
Exactly. We talk about stage next time.
What I'm really curious and a tad bit concerned are the side contents that Smash Bros is gonna do.
Story mode,
we'll do we can probably this will probably be the last thing we'll talk about because I don't think there's another thing to really add on this, but I think because Melee introduced a lot more content, I have no doubt that they can probably add a few things, but Smash 4 was very lackluster when it came to the single player content, in my opinion. Brawl had a story mode. Brawl had a literal story mode. Melee had adventure mode, which is something, okay? But Melee had it so much compared to the first one. So
the only thing that was really the only side content that they added for Smash Bros. That was good was Smash Bros. And that was exclusive to the 3DS. And when people got the Wii U version,
Smash Tour couldn't have been any more boring.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that they're gonna that they should add a story mode. It would be awesome, but the fact that they're releasing the game pretty soon, I don't know, actually. That's the thing. I don't know, because they say it'll come out in 2018, but for all I know, it can probably get delayed to 2019.
Exactly.
So, maybe.
I could see it getting delayed. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think, you said they started development in January. January this year or January?
Oh, January 2016, which does make sense because the characters, because Bayonetta and Corrin were already announced prior to that time. And, you know, they're already done with, well, no, they're not, they weren't done with the patches. But that was just a rumor. But, like, they could have started a little bit earlier than that. No, yeah, earlier than that, so who knows. But most likely that they started around January of 2016 the development of this one, which would make sense, but, you know, right.
I mean, I don't know. I could see like this happening. Like, I don't know. I don't think it would get delayed if they started. If the rumor is true, they started in January 2016. I could totally see them like having a lot of the game like already done. Like maybe already having like the models for like. Oh wait, shit! Did you include Diddy Kong in the thing?
Oh shit! I forgot. Hold on.
Every Diddy Kong man is gonna come with like.
Forgive me.
You forgot Diddy Kong. Fuck Diddy Kong is bananas. Just saying. Fuck them.
Okay.
And his long ass arms that stretch for no reason.
I hope you noticed what I wrote.
Other than making moves.
I hope you noticed what I wrote.
Forgive me, Zero Senpai.
Let's say there.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm charging.
Easily my favorite Diddy main. Well, easily one of my favorite Smash Bros. Players. Let's start with that. So yeah, side content. I hope we get something a little bit interesting. And I guess just to add a little bit more, let's also talk about the competitive scene. Okay. This game is obviously going to be replacing Smash for Wii U, just like how Smash for Wii U replaced Brawl.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really interested to know what kind of dumb gimmick they're gonna add in this one. Brawl, we got tripping. Smash 4, we got Rage Mode. So unless they're gonna rehash Rage Mode or something, they're probably gonna add something a little bit different.
I think they're probably gonna do the same thing like what they do with tripping in Smash 4, and that they're gonna reduce it or like nerf Rage Mode in some way. Like I don't know how much Rage Mode increases the power of your character with a knockback and the damage, but I'm just gonna give an example. Like say Rage Mode increases like the power by 50%. Instead of in Smash 5, it's probably gonna be like 20% now or 25.
Sorry, Bowser and DK. You know.
Sorry, Lucario.
Oh no, fuck off, Lucario. You were fine last time. You were fine. It was Bowser.
You tier in Brawl.
Bowser needed work. He was bottom tier twice. That's
Bowser
embarrassing.
is like trash. And every game that isn't Smash 4. Same with Samus. I'm happy that they reworked Samus. Even though Samus, some people put her like as bottom tier. I don't see why.
She has really bad matchups. Like she literally loses to all the top tiers.
But, like, she's still like way better than Brawl. Just saying.
Yeah, I can definitely say. I think partially it's because of the speed difference, which I hope also. Yeah. I also think that the speed difference should still remain from Smash 4.
I just hope they make her and Zelda like better zoners, honestly. Cause like Samus is not a really good zoning game, but at least like make Samus more combo based. I feel like they're doing that now in Smash 4. At least they were doing that in Smash 4. Like a lot of her moves did combo into each other, pretty well.
Right.
They're still like pretty slow. But she still has like potential for like range. I hope they do that with Zelda. I hope they make her a little bit more of a zoner, like a better zoner, because she is a zoner, but she's not really all that good at it.
Also, I also want to try and guess the next. I also want to see if we can guess the next Meta Knights in this game.
Okay, it'll probably end up being someone from Melee. Let's be honest here.
Well, I don't know, like Brawl, like
because we know before Bayonetta came in, Sheik held the crown for Smash Bros. Queen. Let's be honest.
Well, Diddy dominated for a bit, and then got nerfed
first.
Yeah, Diddy was the first.
And then it was Sheik, and then it was Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, all girls except Diddy Kong.
Let's say. Last time I
Literally, all the
checked,
top tiers in Smash Bros. Are all either female or are blonde with blue eyes.
Well, not lately. Like, the top 3 are now just Bayonetta, Cloud, and Diddy.
Oh, really? Diddy's top 3 now?
Yeah. No, Diddy. Sheik is probably just below. Actually, no. Sheik might actually no. It's probably top 4 now that I really remember it. And Sheik is just number 4. I know ZSS and Rosalina dropped a lot more significantly.
Yeah, I know that they dropped recently.
Yeah, because Zero Suit Samus nerfed did came into effect, and then Rosalina. I guess people just figured out how to fight her, just like with Ness. Ness went from top tier to like mid tier.
Ness was pretty difficult. I remember I struggled with Ness mains a bit.
It's called back throw.
Oh, back throw, legit.
But yeah, I remember back when Smash 4 was announced, I thought Mega Man was gonna be amongst the best, or probably the best.
Hey, but I think he's low mid tier. I think.
Probably.
I don't keep up with the tiers too much.
It's not even that, but it's like Mega Man. I don't see a lot of Mega Man players. The only
That's
the one
true. I see.
the one that came to my mind was that a Mega Man player placed second at Evo 2016, losing, and then he still lost to a Mario main.
I love how anyone who wins Evo with whatever character that they made ends up being like top tier.
Well,
Let's be honest, that's what happened.
Well, not Mario. Ally won Evo with Mario.
Oh, yeah, that's right,
and
Mario.
Like this is around the time where Ally was like, Mario's not top 5. Diddy with Zero, he won with Diddy. Like he's played the entire bracket with Sheik and then saved Diddy for like the final match.
Yeah.
Not dropping a single set. That man, I have so much respect for. But
remember that brawl, the video that was like how Smash 4 players react to brawl?
Okay.
And it was like, wait, I can't hoo-ha! What is this?
Oh yeah, but like, what was I saying?
Let's see.
I forgot what I was saying. I remember I was talking about Evo, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking
I was going to talk about Zero is going to be
Sheik, Zero Suit. I feel like they're definitely going to nerf Rosalina.
Fucking better. Nerf the Luma. Why does the Luma have so much HP?
Let's
Give
see,
it like 2 health.
I feel like if Impa were included, I feel like because the moveset I have in mind for Impa, which if the people who are like watching this want to, I could like make a moveset for her. Prove that she's not a Sheik clone.
Palutena.
But I feel like with the moveset I have in mind for her, I feel like she would definitely be top tier.
Oh, I also want to address like one last thing for like in terms of like a buff or nerf somewhat. Palutena, I get that she was pretty solid with the customs.
I feel like they should have like. Okay, so the thing about Palutena, this is really funny. So in you know that Sakurai developed Kid Icarus, right?
Yeah.
So there was this one. This is a bit of a spoiler, but at one point in Kid Icarus Uprising, you fight Palutena, who's being like controlled as sort of like alien, trans-dimensional like creature. And you fight her, and like a lot of her moves look like Smash Bros. Special moves. Like she has a reflector. She has like this one jumping attack that you won't see for no reason at all. Like she had like a laser beam attack. Like a lot of people who were making movesets for Palutena actually just drew completely off of the moveset that she had in Kid Icarus Uprising when she fought against Pit. So to me it was really weird that they chose to use like the powers that Pit would randomly get in his journey in Kid Icarus Uprising. I get they're trying to do like, ooh, we have customization now. Like I get that they were trying to do that, and I think they're still going to do that, obviously. But I feel that I don't know. I just feel that like they should just like not do that with Palutena, because we already have that with the Miis. We don't need another character to represent that.
Oh wow, the Miis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think I just found a new one. Hey,
I think they.
so I remember like people saying this for a bit.
Wait, are there Miis in the Switch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're Miis in the Switch.
You know what? Can we just call them Swees?
Miis.
Yeah.
You put the Miis. Okay,
I
feel
just
like
added
for
them.
Newcomers, I feel like they're gonna add like a mage me because like some people have been talking about that, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay, so I guess that's a.
Like magical based me, like you can have like a teleport.
That's the me I'll play with.
Yeah, I'll definitely play with that. I love the brawler me, like. Because yeah, I'm a boxer, I love like hand-to-hand
Jesus,
combat.
like I remember back in the custom days, Brawler was like a monster character.
Oh yeah, I remember everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's so OP!" I think that's the Smash Bros. Community. I love.
Oh no, that's the Smash Bros. That's the Smash Bros. Online community. Let's see which character we can bitch about.
It's just so true. I love the Smash Bros. Community. It's definitely like one of the most friendly communities out there.
But the
And
online
there's
community
so
sucks.
So like accepting it. They're like the best community out there in my opinion. But like it's like every other character. Like if 5 people lose to the same character, it's OP. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you bastards. These bastards are the same people that got Greninja nerfed.
For her nerf. But it's like freaking. Oh my god! I remember Wario's OP. Sonic is OP. Lucario's OP.
They're not wrong about that one.
Not too wrong about that one.
I mean, I had to go Charizard against you in the fucking Smash Bros. Tournaments.
Oh
once.
my god.
Literally, I went Charizard because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna beat him with Fox or Pikachu. So it's like, what do? I guess I'll just pick Charizard. Oh wow, we didn't put Charizard.
Oh shit, that's right. Forgive us the 5 people who made Charizard.
I don't know.
Oh, introspective, that's right. I love introspective.
I almost misspelled his name, so I was gonna apologize. So I was gonna. So yeah.
Well, returning character, Squirtle. I love Squirtle now. No.
I wish Squirtle wasn't handicapped. Then he would have definitely been like one of my mains.
Same, like I love Squirtle. I was
saying more Brawl. I was gonna say more in Brawl because I was thinking more Brawl when I was thinking about Squirtle because Squirtle actually has some really strong matchups against most of the top characters. He's really good against. He's really good against Marth. He's really good against Snake. Like he's really good against a lot of characters, but like fuck, the handicap is too much.
Exactly. And I really love Ivysaur and Project M. He's like one of my favorites in Project M. TBH.
So yeah. It's like also for all the PMB, not the PMBR brothers because they kind of stopped updating Project M, but anybody who wants to give us another Melee-ish gameplay on the Switch, now's your time. Melee HD is already out on the Wii U.
Speaking of which, I think this is gonna be the last thing we to discuss because I have like stuff to do, and I think I've already been on here for like I think an hour.
We've been here for like hold on, let me check the time. We've actually been here for we're almost been here for 2 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I told you this will be the longest video.
I have to be here for 30 minutes. I have shit ton of stuff to do. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna sleep at like 1 a.m. tonight. But yeah, like, what do you think about the speed? Because some people like, okay, can I just like rant about something real quick about Melee fans?
Yeah, you were saying?
They're all gonna come after me. They're gonna find my like Facebook and my Twitter and shit.
Are you talking about Melee now?
And they're gonna be like, oh my god!
Are you talking about Melee?
This fucking bitch!
Are you gonna talk about Melee?
I feel like a lot like. Okay, so think about Smash. I remember when Smash Bros was coming out, a lot of people were like, okay, let's find the speed that's between Melee and Brawl, so that both parties can be happy.
I think they did fine with Smash 4.
And now people are doing the same thing with Smash 5. Like a lot of people are saying, oh, let's find the speed between Melee and Smash 4 for people to be happy.
No.
Like,
I keep the speed of Smash 4. I think it was fine. I have literally nothing.
Like just a little bit faster. That's about it. Just a little bit.
I thought you were gonna complain about all the like mods that turn the game into Melee.
Oh no, I really don't care about those. It's like you do what you want. I don't really care.
Yeah, we got Melee HD on the Wii
yeah,
already.
I did a couple of like videos on it. Pretty cool.
So,
but still, it's like I get that Melee fans really want like the speed of Melee back in Smash, especially because like. The Melee roster wasn't that good. It was pretty balanced.
I mean,
it was like
I can understand what they. I mean, I don't even know what the Melee. Okay, I love Melee. Melee's like I mean, I can easily say that Melee's been like one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah,
I love it to death. I love watching the tournaments. I love most of the top Melee players. But we need to kind of face not the reality.
We need
of
to
this.
move on.
Okay, I don't want. That's a bit too harsh for me to say because people still play Smash 64 competitively. And the people who are like play 64 are like diehard lovers of 64. They love the game to death. But like with the Melee players, it's like with the Melee players, they're obviously not impressed with Brawl, for understandable reasons. And then but Project M comes out and it's like the same people who played Melee almost never played Project M for like numerous reasons. And it's not even like the fact that the game is not as big as it was anymore. Like a lot of people just. I don't know. They just don't give a crap. I just generally think that they just want to stay with Melee because they love Melee. But it's like the game. It's right now being sponsored in Evolution, and I'm not gonna lie. Being part of the Smash community, I feel kind of a criminal when your boy Marvel lost to Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Fighters. It's like you have 2 Smash games on Evo, which I don't.
That's right. I remember like people were so hyped for like. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity War. They had like 2 trailers, and then like after it was they didn't have any trailers afterwards. They had like a couple before the release date, but that's about it.
Buddy, Infinity War is the movie.
The roster, like the marketing for that game was like non-existent, and also it has like less characters than Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
God,
when you have less characters than your like previous installment, you know you did something wrong.
And not only that, like 3 already had less characters than 2.
That's right, but I can understand that. It's like, okay, it's like 2 was on an arcade machine, and like they were making the game in like not HD, but they were like already making 3D models. So I can kind of understand like.
Bitch, Mortal Kombat, like the NetherRealm fighting games keep adding characters as we speak.
That's true, yeah.
And especially with the DLC characters, we're getting more. They have no excuse. They're just lazy. Look what they did to Chun-Li.
Yeah, yes, sir. There was no reason for them to do that.
Look what they did to Chun-Li. They made her ugly.
They made Chun-Li ugly. That's right. Chun-Li looks so horrible. Some people like say that they made Chun-Li ugly just so that way Captain Marvel could look hot. Or hotter.
Captain Marvel. I prefer Shazam Captain Marvel. Okay, well the point is
it's about Marvel. We have to copyright the word Marvel because only we can use Marvel, even though Marvel is an actual fucking word. But you know that's beside the point.
What are we, the Fine Brothers now?
We hate them so much. Do they still exist?
Yeah, they do.
Oh God.
Anyway, but before we go into like 3 different rants, the point I was trying to make was that we had to like. I want to see Smash grow, but obviously I don't know how I feel about having 2 Smash games at Evo and stuff like that to this day. I feel like we're not pissing the FGC off because we're not pissing them off, but it's like I just kind of feels a bit weird that we still have Melee, a game that's been released in 2001 at like the biggest tournament of the year. Even if it does get views, I still think it's just a matter of time before we have to just adapt to the next game. We just need to find that Smash game.
Leave it in the past, and you know, obviously you can still play it. Like, obviously,
there's plenty of tournaments that still sponsor Melee, and they still sponsor 64.
There's still plenty of tournaments that still sponsor Melee.
64 has a combo contest now.
You should stop playing Melee in general. It's like no, you can still play. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'm not your mom.
Dude, people still play Smash 64 competitively. There's even combo contests for Smash 64, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so it's like, yeah, Melee will still be around forever.
It's still gonna be a huge thing. Melee has become like kind of a cultural icon when it comes to like, you know, competitive fighting games.
Yeah, it's like right there. In fact, there was a rant that I saw about Marvel 3 not being at Evo, but being put like as a side tournament unless people donated like for the breast cancer awareness for UMBC 3. But when he mentioned that like Marvel and Street Fighter had the 2 best. Marvel had like the most well-known history in the FGC, and the only other 2 games that he can think of that has just as well-known history were Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo and Melee. Melee has a fucking documentary, for God's sake. Like,
Yeah.
I just want to see, I want to see Smash grow, and I don't want this game to be very divided, like how Smash 4 had to be. Like, Smash 4 was very divided with its community, and it's not even because of, like, the broken...
Brawl was more divided with this community.
Dude, when people start talking about banning Bayonetta and Cloud, and people don't know the right answer to that, banning Cloud and doubles, banning Bayonetta, it's like, it's a... We couldn't have been any more divided with Smash 4, so it's like... Hopefully we can come into like a good agreement with Switch. Maybe we won't have like a character that's as broken. Like there's a reason why we have Bayonetta and the characters that'll be removed. There's a reason why Meta Knight was heavily nerfed in Smash 4, even though he's still a pretty solid character with all the buffs that they decided to give him afterwards.
I feel like just the concepts of Meta Knight and J-Con, I feel like just with their concepts alone, same with Sheik and Fox, they're always going to be like at least high mid tier.
Oh my god, did we not put Marth?
Did we not put Marth? Holy shit!
Why did we put Ike before?
Because I don't know. I really like big buff dudes. I don't like girly chicks and girly dudes. We're just pissing off, like, you gotta really include, like,
I can't think of every Marth main that I like. Marth is like my favorite character to watch in competitive play.
Yeah, Marth is pretty fun to watch.
And every Marth main ever. I love you.
And every Marth main ever. Including Gavin. Especially
Gavin.
God.
Also, fuck your Yoshi, Gavin.
So fucking yes. Yes, that's
so that's
like,
pretty much it.
They're gonna make Marth short.
Oh no, please don't nerf Marth that much. Make Marth a
short, like semi-long sword to like a regular size sword to like a Zyphos, and it's gonna turn into a freaking diamond.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like, this was a lot of fun, honestly. Who knows, maybe we'll talk about more when, like, the Sinnoh remakes get announced or whatnot. If they ever fucking get announced, like, fuck Ultra Sun.
3DS or on the Switch?
On the Switch, dude.
Hope.
On the Switch.
I hope to God it is on the Switch. I don't want them to be, like... Because right now they're putting, like, side games on 3DS now.
Yeah, it's kind of like the PlayStation 3 now.
Yeah, like for example, like Detective Pikachu, and I feel like a few other ports were put to the 3DS. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
The only thing I'm gonna be ever doing,
they're like main series games.
The only thing I'm ever gonna be doing with my 3DS from now on is getting A Link to the Past, because I'm doing a Zelda marathon right now. So, and I think A Link to the Past, I had to be playing that on the 3DS and Link Between Worlds.
Zelda month, because everyone does it on Zelda month. Because Zelda month is November. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'll be busy in November. I can't do that. Anyway, so I'm gonna
Thanksgiving break. They speak on that shit.
So I'm gonna end the recording because this was a really fun one. So if any of my 2 viewers that watch my videos, unless
I'm one of the 2.
Well, I don't know. My viewers are a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes I get a lot from the Soul Calibur countdown, and sometimes I get bare bone from the Kingdom Hearts playthrough.
Oh man, just put like big Bayonetta, Palutena, Samus titties.
Oh, the tags are gonna be insane. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and we hope to see you in the next Slutcast.
Yeah, I forgot like that.